Search operations continue for an Indian national worker reported missing after a reinforced concrete wall collapsed this afternoon at a demolition site in Tanjong Pagar. And the Manpower Ministry and the Building and Construction Authority say that the 10 by 3.8 metre wall was on the second storey of a building at 1 Bernam Street. It collapsed as it was being demolished.
Well, CNA's Chloe Chu is on location and she joins us live with the very latest. Chloe, what is the latest around the search operation and where are investigations at this particular point?
Well, it would be about 8 hours by now that the missing worker has been trapped under the rubble. So just to roughly give you a gauge of where I am, so I'm currently at Bernam Street. Now, this whole street that you see behind me has been closed off. It goes on for about 200 meters and it's been cordoned off since the afternoon. The exact site of the collapse and the demolition works is actually between these two red trucks, and it's at the brightest part where the floodlights are now. So search and rescue operations are still ongoing and it has intensified over the hours. The Building Construction Authority and Manpower Ministry have released a statement. They've confirmed that at 2 p.m. earlier today, a large concrete wall on the second story collapsed onto the road while demolition works were ongoing. This was also what some eyewitnesses told me. So I spoke to an employee who works at the building just opposite the site of the collapse. Let's hear what she had to say.
那个倒下来的那个板大概有多大？很大嘞。
2层楼、3层楼看起来。
它是 horizontal 的，所以我没有懂两三层楼吧，就可能 maybe 一个比 bus stand 还长。
所以是比 bus stand 还长的一个石板这样倒下来了。对。是从哪里倒？
它是墙壁来的，它是墙壁来的，所以它是墙壁这样吗？它是这样倒。
Now, the authorities have also said that the remaining building has actually been assessed to be stable and with no structural concerns. But meanwhile, of course, to play it safe, all project parties have been asked to stop work and stop any activities, any construction activities that were ongoing. And the workers, they would actually have their permits and passes revoked as well while investigations are underway. The employer of the missing worker, so the company in charge of the demolition, Sun Demolition, has also been asked to stop work at all the different sites. Now, BCA and MOM also sent out a reminder that demolition works should be done in a systematic manner. So what it means by that is perhaps starting from a higher floor first and then working your way down so you don't risk any chance of anything collapsing onto the workers below. Now, just to give you some background information and some background since I've been here for a couple hours, efforts have definitely intensified since I've been here at 3 p.m. You know, more workers and more vehicles have been deployed to dig through the mess of metal spokes and concrete behind. There's also many vehicles here. I would say 30 over police cars and SCDF emergency vehicles are on site with me to help out with the search and rescue operations. There are also sniffer dogs with their handlers going around and trying to sniff out life at the construction site. Nearly 100 workers, I would say, have been deployed. It's a mix of construction workers, SCDF personnel, and also police officers. They've been deployed to help out with the operations, and they are also doing a bit of crowd control and traffic control because, as I mentioned, many parts of the road are actually closed off and there's vehicles parked here. And the last update that we got officially from the SCDF was that they were bringing in more heavy machinery to help out with the operations. This was at about 5:30 p.m.
Heavy machineries are being utilized to augment the cutting and lifting operations, especially on the concrete slabs. Currently, search operations are still ongoing, and we want to ensure that apart from the missing workers, we carefully comb the entire area and leave no one else trapped.
There's a lot of concern, Chloe, about the safety of that missing worker. But what else can you tell us about the building that was being demolished?
Well, the collapsed structure has been identified as the Fuji Xerox Tower, part of it. So it was actually in the midst of being demolished since February last year. So it's supposed to be redeveloped into Newport residences. Just to give you a bit of information, Woh Hub is the builder and City Developments Limited is the developer. The reasons for collapse are still under investigation, but it's safe to say, the police officers and the SCDF, they are prepared to be here overnight. Such operations are usually quite complex and complicated, so it will take them a while to give any confirmation or tell us the cause of this accident. Meanwhile, we've also contacted the relevant builder, the developer and company in charge of the demolition, so Ike Sun, as I said earlier, for comments. And I will continue to update as I get them. If we talk about other events like this, it's not the first time something like this has happened in Singapore. This incident also calls to mind past events like the PIE Expressway collapse in 2017 and also the Nickel Highway collapse in 2004. But much like those events, it really might be a while before we have more information and we know the cause. So I will continue to give you updates from the Central Business District.
And Chloe Chu reporting live to us there from Tanjong Pagar.